Developmental disabilities in children can have lasting effects, but they can be prevented by intervening during a child's first 5 years of life. Parents do say that it requires patience, especially when you have to fight the powers that be to make it happen. And Justin Willis joins us now with more on the children's political movement.
Well, that's right, Stephanie. For parents of kids with developmental disabilities, it's not as easy as a trip to the pediatrician. Many rely on special services, but access for those can be tough, especially when some programs are seeing economic cutbacks. This is Ezekiel Belcher. He's 6 years old. He's been dealing with developmental disabilities since he was 3 weeks old. It started with a respiratory virus. It went undiagnosed after repeated doctor visits. At 18 months, Ezekiel developed severe ear infections. Eventually, he suffered a severe hearing loss. His mom says it delayed his speech and language development. He's caught up now, as active as any 6-year-old, but that's because his mom took action early. She had to go way beyond the pediatrician, but it was tough to find the services. And once she did, getting access became the trick.
There is a lack of an infrastructure for educating parents and for screening children early and often for developmental or cognitive disabilities. There is no established protocol.
This is why parents and First 5 Fresno County are standing behind the children's movement. The goal is to make kids the top priority in communities. First 5's executive director says kids are often overlooked when it comes to legislation.
It's not about being right or left, it's about our kids.
Kendra Rogers says state and local lawmakers typically wait until something happens to our kids before action is taken. She says we pave the future by taking preventative measures now. Since kids can't vote, she says it's important for us as parents to back those politicians who will stand up for our children. She says the decisions we make now will have an effect on our kids as they grow.
We can only build so many jails. We can only build fund so many remediation programs for kids versus getting ahead of it, making sure that we have kids that have the foundation so they don't end up involved with the criminal justice system, who have their developmental needs met so that they don't end up in special education.
It's one of the reasons Ezekiel's mom and dad keep fighting.
For any child with cognitive or developmental delays, the more you intervene between the ages of 18 months to 5 years, the more productive your child's going to be.
And the Belcher family says early detection is key when it comes to developmental disabilities. Some parents don't necessarily want their kids labeled as special needs kids, but to ensure that, we've got to take action now.
Right, you really have to face up to what is going on with your child, even if it's what you don't necessarily want to hear.
And the Belcher family's been through a lot, and they're reaping the benefits now because they took action early.
All right, Justin, thank you so much. And to access all of the material and more about our family-focused special series of reports, go to our website, kc24.com, and click on news links. And joining us now from our newsroom to talk more about the children's political movement is Kendra Rogers from First 5. Kendra, thank you so much for being here. When we refer to developmental disabilities, what specifically are we talking about? Are there specific conditions that are associated with this label?
You know, for us, it's any child that needs support in their development. So it could be anything from, a minor speech delay to a child that has autism or some other more serious delays. But, with the children's movement, it's not just about children with special needs. The children's movement is really aimed at creating a united voice for our kids so that they have a voice in the political process, in the discussions that happened around everything that we do as a community. So it's more than just, one specific topic.
And has this voice obviously has it not been heard before, or at least not to the extent that you feel it should have been?
Absolutely. Kids don't have a lobbyist. They don't have a lobbyist in Sacramento, nor do they, up at the White House. And so the point of the children's movement is for all of us as a community to come together and be a united voice for them so that they are heard. We know kids don't vote, so oftentimes when it comes to dealing with those types of issues, our kids get left out, so it's about being a voice for our children.
All right, thank you so much, Kendra Rogers with First 5. We appreciate you coming and telling us more about this children's political movement. Thank you.
Thank you.
And tomorrow, our Family Focus series continues with a look at the Fatherhood Initiative. We'll tell you about the struggles of young fathers, and we'll also show you local efforts to keep them involved in the lives of their kids. And join us again on Thursday when we'll have our phone bank of experts open to take your calls. Our panel will be here live to talk with you on a variety of topics. That's coming up Thursday on KC24 beginning at 4 o'clock.